Welcome, Wasteland Survivors. So this is just a brief visual example of a base that was built in my private 17.1 server. Let's go ahead and jump down, take a look at it from the bottom. So you can see down here we have a series of lines crisscross across the face. Those are the electric wires, the electric fence. And we've got a system that alternates between spikes, barbed wire, and more spikes. We did not bother to fix the base up after the last Horde night since 17.2 came out, and then we just quit playing for a while. But you can see this had been damaged. We had to redo a bunch of things, a bunch of repairs that need to happen. Up there you can see there's our bird's nest, and it goes quite tall. So let's take a look at the base. Here you can see we use the same pole support system. That way if they, now this one's only one pole, but over here we do have the two pole combination. Just to make sure that if they decide to smack it, everything doesn't come down. These are plates with the elevator hatch system. And of course, gotta have the drawbridge. The drawbridge is just super cool. So once you go inside, you can see that our stations are basically set up with kind of everything contained. So the chemistry station here in the very center is our generic materials that go into the chemistry station, while the output is medical and chemical on the other side, right? So over here you can see our medical supplies, general chemistry materials, and our gas there. Obviously, some of the supplies, I mean, this ends up being pretty much just gas. Because we end up putting our ammo and other things in our location. So over here we got bookshelves we purchased from the vendor, and that's where we put our magazines, and we also put our treasure maps in here and any quests. So you can see we did label these. So there's our vehicles, and you can see over here is our random junk drawer. Next to our two workstations, find that, see somebody's processing gas in that one. Two workstations is pretty much kind of a minimum. Okay, over here is our forge stations. So down below are the forge materials. I don't know why that one's got pine seeds, but you can see here's our forge materials there. And here's other metal forges. So this is metal, this is where wood would go, and this is for our sand, rock, gravel type things. Down here you can see this is where we have a bunch of our decorative things underneath the saw table. Table saw, sorry. And here's our mixers, which just kind of stack up there. So this is a nice system. It visually isn't too bad looking. So if you see the sign, the very top line represents what's on top, and the very bottom represents what's on the bottom. So schematics with mods go up there. Very easy to see. Ammo parts, while the ammo, finished ammo, is up top. Right? So pretty simple. So in here, there's one over here. So you see there we have a light fixture. It is currently turned off because we have a timer that automatically turns on the lights just for nighttime and shuts them off just after day. So here's our kitchen. Water. There's the water cooler. I did install a couple of modlets. One of the modlets is a working oven. So an actual oven. So there's our oven right there. Down here is where we keep our meats. I really liked the old refrigerator textures, but those are gone. So those meats, and up here is the drinks. And you can see we put all these ones here like this. So for example, I've got red tea in my inventory. Now if I just shift click and shift click again, see, it just kind of fills in. So this is a way to pre-allocate your sorting process, especially if you end up with stacks and stacks and stacks of things. Food, and this is our seed system. So this is our drop box, which we usually try to keep empty at nighttime. We sort. During the day we don't. And just kind of a nice little chill out area. So let's see here. So if it's horde night, or if there's something coming, you want to get down really quick. So this is our way to get down. Just jump down here, and you can open the store up. Oh, sorry, not that one. Here we go. Here's the melee part. So you can stand, we put the plates, so that gives you a little bit of extra boost. You just stand here and swing. Oops. Yeah. Anyway. But it makes it really nice to just hit him in the head. And of course, we come in, and again, we use the same hatch system to get up from here. We have multiple hatches, because if they did get in, you want to be able to quickly get in one. Get to the next level, stand up here, you can shoot down below again. Pretty simple. So, the other thing that we do is we usually have what's called maintenance areas for wiring. So this is a maintenance area here. Wires are kind of a pain. You've got to put down these relays, and they look really ugly. So we always build a system where you can basically access your wiring and access the outside wires nice and easy. So these are maintenance shafts. Also, what's kind of cool is if you take a look, so this right here is actually a plate, and this is a plate, and two plates rotated in the right way, stacked together, actually count as a full solid block. So I'm standing in essentially what the game considers a solid block, and that's why you can see this actually is on the ground. It's not on the plate. So this is actually not a solid block here. But this doesn't reduce structural integrity, yet still allows me to add wiring. We use the lattice as an alternative ladder system to go up. And between each floor, we did add a maintenance system. Now, here's the birdcage. So a nice, convenient way to be able to go out a couple of blocks, pull a gun, go in, shoot zombies, shoot anything coming at you. Went ahead and built this system to go up over the drawbridge and run back down. So we are fully safe from anything that flies during the night. Some of this is made out of wood still, just because that's all we needed initially. We've been upgrading it as it gets broken. But this is our birdcage. So Nev was our farmer. Fantastic job. And both him and Stample did a lot of the design work for this. Though we have been doing a variation on this base quite a few times. So here's our elevator system up. One of these takes us up all the way to the farming level, and the other one takes us up to the housing level. And unfortunately, we didn't put signs up, so because we didn't need to at the time. I remembered. I don't remember where I'm going now, so let's find out. Okay, housing. So here's where our housing was. So we did have one rule, and the rule was, since again this is a private server, that if we built a base, when it was strong enough, and you would feel that a merchant would feel comfortable living in your base, we would build a location for that merchant. If the merchant ever died, that was it. You get the one. But it had the advantage of being able to basically return to your house if you did any quests, rather than having to go to some random location and then run back. So this was the merchant's location inside our house. And then of course, see, so this was my room. I never actually did anything. And this is, I think, Niv's room. Yeah, so he always made sure his place was snazzy. And Stample always tried to build slightly unusual stuff. So let's see what he did in here. Oh gosh, he put water under his setup. So yeah, like I said, but you know, it's kind of cool looking. And then we can go back to the next level, and this takes us up to the roof. So on the roof is where we have, oh, there's a mod for chickens, for chicken coops. So we did not play with mods until I'd say maybe the last week before we gave up, but it's a very cool mod. Here is Neves Garden, and he owned this. He basically, like, we didn't ever have any need for food after a bit. He basically he kept us all fed. It was badass. And of course, this is his design. Water for when it was necessary. And again, you know, if you want to have a look out, he also built this tower. Let's see if I can get to where the tower is. Because I know there's a lookup. Yeah, see, there's that lookout tower there. Oh, and we did have a solar panel. Oh, do you see how that's set up right there, where it's actually in the wall? So he actually designed it so that way you can't see the solar panel's container. That's slick. I never noticed that. Okay, where was it? It was over here. Ah, here we go. Niv wasn't a terrible fan of the hatches because he felt it was kind of glitchy. So I'm not surprised that there's a ladder. And again, sometimes the birds would be pretty high, so this was a nice place to shoot birds. But very slick. So now, how do you get down? Normally, let's see if that is too far. It feels like that might be too far. Should be okay, I guess. Okay. So if you want to jump down several blocks without breaking your legs, one of the things we would do is we would put these little like wedge tips or ramp pieces. So watch this. And it just kind of slides you up. There, yeah, so in this one it's a wedge tip and a wedge back piece. So it just slides you back, and it counts as though you landed here at the top of the wedge tip. That actually counts as the ground. So in this case, even though I'm dropping, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks, it looks like, no damage. Okay, so why am I dropping so far? Let me show you. We also have maintenance levels between each of the living spaces. So this is a nice, slick way of hiding all your wiring. Again, it's plates down below. So in this case, there's no plates here, but these are all plates, right? And so as far as the game is concerned, this is as if I had made blocks filled throughout the entire level. So this is a great way to hide all of these wires and relays and actually move wiring around your base without having to like break things apart. So if I wanted to add something new, I could just break a plate here, throw down a relay, and wire it up. And again, I can also interact with the generator. Turn this on. So there's the generator, and then we can go up, and you can see there's our area. So this was under construction. In previous maps, we had like a game room here, and other such things. But, you know, overall, the base is even though it's made of flagstone, the core of the base that's going to take any damage is strong, and we could probably extend this quite a bit higher and not have to worry about structural integrity, because as far as it's concerned, this whole thing is pretty solid. I was doing experimenting out there. But that's our base right there. You know, and it was pretty resilient. And didn't look horrible. You know. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.